Holy moly, you're alive.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute.
Yeah, you got to tell people about your time in Filipino prison, or
Man, right out the gate, you got to tell people my business.
I don't know if you want to talk about it or not.
There was no prison. Let's be clear.
A small island prison named Satan's Pillow where you were faced to fight to the death.
Nope, I got away with everything. They didn't catch me for nothing. No, went to Thailand. Not the Philippines, just Thailand.
Yeah, I know. What was it? What was it like? What's it like in Thailand? The kingdom of Thailand.
That is different. Being in a kingdom is different. Just everywhere you go, even the airport shopping is different because it's a kingdom. They've got the duty-free signs. You can't purchase anything unless you have. It was like that in Korea too. You can't purchase anything unless you have your passport and your boarding pass. Even after you've already gone through security, you're checked in, you're just waiting for your plane. You can't buy anything without proving who you are again. It's really strange.
That you're not a subject of the king, but you are yet a free citizen of the United States, allegedly.
Mm-hmm. Also learning, I'm not as smart as you are. Like, I'm not ashamed of that. It is what it is. But like worldly, things, you just know things. I had no idea that people in the kingdom can't just get a passport.
No.
I take for granted that, where we live, if you want a passport and you don't have a felony, go get you a passport. You got to provide your documents, but it's not difficult. We ran into over and over again across Thailand, people there, Thai people who were just so envious, like would flat out just tell us how lucky we are that we're Americans and we can go wherever we want and travel wherever we want. We went and saw the elephants at a sanctuary, and one of our guides, he had my heart just hurting. He was just talking about have we ever seen the snow? He wants to see the snow so bad. He would give anything to go to Alaska. He wants to go to Alaska, see the snow, and he wants to be able to go to Australia to work because 1 hour in Australia is the same pay as a day and a half for him in Thailand.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, that shit hurts.
Years ago when I did like mission trips and stuff,
mm-hmm.
and we would go to these orphanages in like Guatemala and outside the slums in Mexico. I'd never seen anything like that. I'd never seen anything like that. Never seen so many. And like, we're so close to a first world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not in the middle of Africa or, in the Amazon.
Yeah.
All these kids are just in the slums. And you're like, how do they get all these cartel members and these, this is how what we've allowed them to do to their children, what they've done to their children.
Yeah.
Just dropping them off and running. There's no way to care for them all. There's no way to feed for them all. You're just trying to keep them alive. It's all you can do. You're just trying to keep them alive. And we went down there and we would build like, this or that. And then we'd go do street ministry and stuff. But there's something I took away. It was just until you've seen it. You know what I mean? Until you've seen it, you're like, whoa, life is cheap.
I wish everybody could travel and see new things and new places, because it really is. Transportation services are it's completely different everywhere else than it is here at home. Yeah, there's cars, there's trains, there's buses, but they don't drive the same. They don't follow the same rules. The flow of traffic is the scariest thing. When we were in Bangkok, my husband and I joked that it's honestly, Thailand was very safe. For me, every place we went, we felt very, very safe. And you can't say that everywhere we travel to. Mm-hmm. And there was a point where he wanted to go take a nap. I wanted to go down the street and go shopping. And we felt fine with that. So he took a nap. And I realized that there's absolutely nothing to be afraid of for me in Bangkok other than crossing the fucking roads. That's terrifying. I would come up to a street and just stand there for like 3 minutes until I built up the nerve or somebody else came along and I could just, follow along with them. Yeah, follow their lead, because it's fucking terrifying.
See,
the scooters? Oh, my gosh.
Ooh. Well, that is a global thing. People drive like that in Mexico. People drive like it seems to be everywhere.
Everywhere but here. Yeah. And we are so anal and we are so angry here. Like road rage is such a thing here. Do you know everybody is in everybody's way and nobody is mad. Nobody is honking. We heard a horn honk, I think, twice the whole time. And we are driving in we're not driving. The taxi driver is driving, but we're in complete chaos. and everybody's calm, cool, collective. Everything flows.
Yeah, like like the UK is good, Germany, Austria, your northern European states, they've kind of got it. Russia's free for all. They're nuts. Um, it's interesting, but you got to also imagine in Thailand, like, why is it so safe? It's a kingdom. It's a kingdom built on tourism, and the king understands anything happens to a tourist, this is a problem. So if you mess with a tourist, bad things happen to people because the king has said so. Like
I also learned very quickly that the Thai police, you don't mess with them.
No,
They are the law. Even if they're
yes.
only 4'11", it doesn't matter. If they come up to your freaking shoulder, it doesn't matter. They put a finger in your face. You do what the fuck they say.
Yes.
That's just otherwise you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Because they're very kind people. So I feel like anybody that's pushing anybody to the limit there, you're in the wrong. Just shut up and do what they say.
Yeah, especially as a foreigner. Like, what are you doing? Like, that's any country.
As a foreigner.
Yeah, if you're going to a third world country, like, mind your P's and Q's. What I think is interesting is the American hate people get internationally, and people can't recognize Americans. They often confuse us with Australians or people from the UK, like kids who go on their spring break from the UK. They've been banned from whole islands, by the way, the UK.
Really?
There's whole places in the world. They're like, yeah, you're a British teenager under 30 or under 25. You can't come here. Well, you can't come here. And then they're like, these Americans don't go to Cyprus. Like, Americans don't go to visa. Like, that's a UK thing.
What's funny is in Thai, everybody was great. Like in Thailand, everybody was so kind, but they're so poor and like you said, they need the tourism. They need everything.
They need it.
And they just are kind people. But we didn't leave the airport when we had layovers in South Korea both ways. And I have no interest in leaving the airport and hanging out in South Korea at this point. Like, the way that I personally was, like, when you say they don't like Americans or whoever the fuck they thought I was, if they thought I was Australian, British, whatever, I could pass for a lot of shit. They didn't like me. Like, they were rude. They were short. They were, physically annoyed. Like, when it's your turn to order a cheeseburger or something and they look up and they see it's you, it's like, and you're like, God, hi. It was almost every single place or anybody I interacted with in the Korea airport was rude.
That's Koreans.
See, and I've never had that. I don't feel that way. Like, my experience hasn't been that Koreans are just rude at all. It's just
Koreans in America are great because they're in America.
Is that yes. See, I just know I wasn't wanted. I know I wasn't liked. I know that it's not heartwarming. That doesn't feel good.
One of my very dear friends spent years in Korea working for a tech firm over there. He had a job there, and he hates Koreans.
Really?
Oh my God. He said the only thing is it's safe. He's like, dude, I've left my phone at a restaurant, came back in 2 days, that phone is there. I've left my wallet at a bar and walked out and came back. Every penny was there. No one will touch it. No, that's not a thing. He's like, did they like me? Absolutely not.
It's actually, that's funny you say that. It's actually one of the things that I noticed right away at the first layover when we went there is, everywhere, and we have fire extinguishers in every major, building that we have to. But in the Korean airport, they just leave them sitting on a little stand on the ground here and there, and there'll be a sign pointing down the fire extinguisher. It's not locked up. It's not. And did a kid ever go near it? Hell no. Like, everybody just minds their own, and that's kind of cool,
Well, it's a homogeneous culture. The Koreans are all Koreans. They don't. No one else gets to come in. You don't get to get a permit to live. You don't to become a resident of Korea as one of us. It's never going to happen.
You have to marry in, right?
Even then, they still may not give it to you. Same thing with Japan. You can marry a Japanese woman and live in Japan, but they may never grant you citizenship. That's just how they roll. You look at other countries like Norway, Denmark, or it used to be Norway, Denmark, Sweden. They're pretty torn the hell up right now. But those places used to, I think even though some of those countries still do, they leave their children outside. Like, while they're sleeping.
They go inside and have coffee. And leave them in
because it's safe
outside.
and nobody's going to mess with the kids. And they're like, this is how the world should be. You should let us teach you. It's like, one, you only have 6 million people in your country. Every single one of you is Norwegian. You share the same culture, the history, the language, lineage, values. You are one society who sees and moves the same way. you're basically a state here in the US. You're a state, right? The fact that a lot of these countries that sit at like the UN and whatever and pretend to be real countries is kind of laughable when you look at like population size and their statistics and everything that's behind them. It's like, you're not
Like, sit down. Yeah,
yes,
quiet.
shut up. Like, I'm not going to be lectured to you. Why? Because you have 800,000 people in your country. You know what I mean? Like, there's more people than that in the city down the road.
Yeah, we've got that many in Nashville.
Go away. Yeah, like, who are you to talk to anybody? You know, and it's, and I've experienced this personally with Europeans, even when I was in Europe. Like, they'd be like, oh, I would love to go to America and do a road trip. I'd like to go to Miami and then LA and then New York. You think I could do that in a week? Like, no, you couldn't drive from Miami to LA in a week. They're like, what? No, surely it'd be fun. It's like, and that's when you realize, like, when I would be lectured by different Europeans about their culture, like, I travel further when I go to Lexington, Kentucky than it took you to go to Denmark from Austria. You know what I mean? Like, stop it. Like, stop it. I went barely one state over, and you've crossed through 3 countries. It's because your countries are tiny and everything's compact and you guys are there.
Yeah.
You know, America is huge. It's the other things, like, Americans don't have passports. Well, those cross-Atlantic and cross-Pacific tickets for planes are pretty expensive. And 2, I can go anywhere in the U.S. and drive there. I can drive to the Caribbean. I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can drive to Alaska. I can drive to the desert. I can drive to a rainforest. I can drive to a pine forest. I can drive to some of the biggest lakes, if not the biggest lakes in the world.
To the Grand Canyon.
I can drive to the Grand Canyon, biggest hole in the world, which is great for 10 minutes looking at it. And then you're like, it's just a hole.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go. We drove a long way to get out here.
The Great Lakes, that's something that I think people have no idea. The Great Lakes are it's like an ocean of its own.
It is an ocean.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
And people don't. It's just a lake.
Lake Superior, Lake Michigan. Like, when you when Lake Michigan is frozen, if you get the opportunity to go out there when it's frozen and stare at it, it's like it's from a movie or some imaginary dreamscape of another world. You know, you're like, this is crazy. Especially when the ice is breaking up and it has this weird movement to it. It makes you sick. You're like, oh,
it's like in slow-mo or something.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I'm out of here.
Like the Matrix is broken.
Yeah, like, oh no, I'm done. You know, or like when me and my buddy were standing off this little pier and it was all frozen and you could hear it cracking, and it was just like, that's unbelievable.
That's a cool noise. Yeah. That's a cool noise.
But I can drive to that. You know what I mean? I can drive all of that. I can go to wine country in California or a wine country in Tennessee, which most people don't know there is wine country here in Tennessee. It's wherever. I can drive anywhere.
Yeah, we could I realized really quickly, and even in Thailand, because we went out on boats 2 different days and did excursions. And first time we went over to Krabi, which is like on the other side of the bay, still Thailand. But I mean, it just seems like on a map it's so much further than it really is, and we can't get to that far away that short amount of time here. And then the next day we went to the Phi Phi Islands, and that was amazing. What? I know. I've always said Fifi because that's what I thought it was, and so when I said it there, they looked at me like I was weird, and then they're like Phi Phi, and I was like, okay, because that's better. And then we went to the main island, and it was like Dong Island, or the Phi Phi Islands or something, and I was like, what the fuck? Y'all are weird.
P's and dongs. Is there a Ladyboy Island?
They're all Ladyboy Islands.
There's some dude on TikTok. I saw him for a while. I don't know what happened to his channel. It would only occasionally come up in the feed. I would just laugh my ass off. And he'd be going through Thailand, and he's like, how can you tell a ladyboy? And he's like, that's a ladyboy? You a ladyboy? You a ladyboy? And she goes, I'm not a ladyboy. He's like, yes, you are. How'd you know? Like the voice. He's like, oh. He's like, you're too pretty. He's like, all the pretty ones are ladyboys.
You know, I honestly, after a while, I told my husband, I was like, I think the trick is, like, if you're a real man here and you don't want to mess with the boys, and you really want a real female, you've got to find one with fat on her. Like you've got to look for cellulite. You've got to look for, you got to look for a fupa. Like you've got to like find those things that only women, because otherwise you can't, man. I mean, the Adam's apple and the elbow sometimes, but they're tiny people too, though.
Mm-hmm. They
so
can
like,
pass for it.
And that matters. Yeah. Like, I mean, it could be a boy, but it's still, he's a feminine, tiny little boy. And it's just, I don't know. We went to the cabaret show. I think they were all lady boys.
Definitely.
Like every single one.
Definitely. I would have skipped that show. That's just me.
It was only like an hour long. We thought it, and
all the dongs stayed tucked. That's all.
The friends that we met up there, they were like, "Oh, you got to see the cabaret show." And we're like, "Okay," it was cheap. They came, picked us up, and took it to us. It was fine, but
yeah,
they lip synced. There was really no talent. A couple of them could actually dance a little bit, but they were the stars because everybody else was lip syncing, and it was really weird music. I don't know. It was an experience.
You realize it's just there, everyone just staring lust after a bunch of men pretending to be girls.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't lusting after him. Me and my husband, I kept looking at him. We're both just like, do you see that? Like, I don't know.
Is that a dong or a pee-pee?
Like, I mean, to be fair, I mean, I'm like curious, and I'm like trying to like zone in. Like, where do they tuck it? Like, where is it? Is it hidden in the costume choices? Like, I don't know. Do they strap it to their leg? I don't know how they make that work.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I'm good. I'll pass.
But you're right. Lots of boobs. Lots of boobs. They must be doing freaking boob jobs. Like,
cheap over there. People go over there to get them done. Yeah, people go over there to get them done. They're so cheap.
They actually did have like augmentation centers right there.
Yeah.
Down on the strip next to the markets.
Yeah.
They had everything. You can get your eyelashes done. You can get your lips done. You get Botox. You can get filler. You can get, right there on the street. Walk on in. It's terrifying.
Yeah. Well, I was a dentist in the U.S. until they pulled my license. Where do you want these boobs?
I know, right?
Oh, no.
I have a degree in something. That counts.
I was a vet. I probably feel better about the vet, to be honest.
I was about to say,
that vet over the dentist all day long. Vet over the dentist all day long.
That's so funny.
But yeah, man,
it was great. We started out in Chiang Mai, and I think that was probably my favorite place. Yeah. It's old. Chiang Mai is old. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of temples. It was just really nice to just walk around and just run into stuff. We had a really good time with that. That's kind of our flow, though.
Yeah.
And then our Airbnb was great. It was just a house in this little gated community, which is a nice thing, is a bougie thing for where we were. For where we live here, not so much. But, I'm really fascinated by everywhere we went, they make you take your shoes off. It's a big thing. If you enter a home, you take your shoes off because of the germs and all that, Mm-hmm. And so in my mind, they're just the cleanest people ever. But only on the ground inside the house, because once you get up to the sink, like the towels are dirty. They don't believe in paper towel. There's like mold in every single crack of every tile throughout the entire house. Like, I would think you'd rather walk through the house with a spray bottle of bleach. That would be important versus don't wear your shoes in the house. I get a little confused because I didn't grow up that way, but
yeah, it's it's just different cultures, man. Like, in the slums in like Mexico or Jamaica or whatever, you'll see people living in tin huts. Inside the damn house, they have big screen, flat screen TV. You're living in a tin room, but you bought a TV.
Mm-hmm. So do they take their shoes off if it's a mud floor?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. It's there's a lot of these people in other countries, they look at America as the dreamland. Our poorest people here live at a level of luxury most people in the world can't imagine. Our homeless people have cell phones that have Netflix on them.
Yeah, I know. And it's prevalent there. The poverty level it's in your face, every corner, there's 7-Elevens everywhere, and every 7-Eleven will be filled with people who have money and people who have absolutely nothing. Mm-hmm. And it's very strange.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's especially Southeast Asia. I mean that's a huge portion of the world, man. It's a huge
Mhm.
portion of the world. It's
And I, you know, as far as like prostitution and the girls, and I think that's everybody hears about that with Bangkok, you know.
Mhm.
Bangkok was our last day. We started in Chiang Mai, didn't really see much in Chiang Mai. The markets and stuff were mostly food and shops. It wasn't whores. Um, but then, but then, but then we went down to
Bangkok's markets are way different.
then Phuket, man. We went down to Phuket, and maybe because we were there for New Year's, it was extra busy. It was extra wild, but there were girls everywhere. I mean, you walk down the main street, and it's just girls reaching out of the darkness, just pawing at every man that goes by, and they put these little signs up in your face every time. Well, not me, men. Like if my husband and I were side by side, they would reach around me and put it in his face, like. And it's like ping pong show. They're all about the ping pong show there. Apparently they got some really talented ping pong players. But I mean, it's just it was a lot. It was a lot to see. And to be honest, by the time we got to Bangkok, I was out. I didn't want to see more. We just did some wholesome shopping. We went to some malls, we ate some food, and I bailed out of everything else. I actually never got to the dirty stuff in Bangkok because Phuket got me. I was good enough with Phuket. It was enough.
When I was in the Czech Republic, you'd go like driving along the road. Every couple miles, there'd be a chick standing on the side of the road because prostitution was legal, and they just stand like this is their section of the interstate.
Yeah.
You wanted them, you pull over, negotiate, do what you got to do, put them back out on the road, and drive down the road like it was. You're just like, what? And the guy's like, yeah, it's totally legal. It's like there's brothels like on the other side from Austria to the Czech, like on the other side of the border. There's a little whorehouse, and those girls have to pay half or whatever it is to the people who own the house. So the other girls just go out on the road. So some of the guys who want to bargain go down the road, and you can find them older, younger, fatter, thinner, whatever you're looking for. This is how they, and that's a prime European country. You know, that's not, you know, Germany. They have prostitution in Germany. It's the oldest profession. It's never going anywhere.
And I'm also aware that that's part of the reason why I felt so fucking safe in Thailand. Like I never, and I can say this, and as a woman here in America, this never happens, but I was not face to face with anybody who made me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, the women pawing at my husband, that made me uncomfortable. But as far as my safety, for the first time in my life, I felt safe. I felt safe everywhere. I never felt like anybody wanted to hurt me. It was just crossing the streets. That's it. It's the only time I felt scared for my life.
It's this weird thing, you know, that in life is this weird competition of trying to gain skills to be able to navigate your way through life and be able to, if no one left you anything, you have to get out and get it for yourself.
Yeah, survival of the fittest is real.
You're competing against everyone else, and unfortunately not everyone else is given the same intellect, not everyone else is given the same physical prowess. And for men and women, there are two things. Women can always fall back into prostitution because there's always a man somewhere that's going to pay them. For men, you got two choices. Prostitution is not among them. You can break your body doing the worst of the worst jobs, which are always available, right? There's always available. You'll get paid for it. You'll die early, and it will take your soul. A woman who prostitutes herself, she'll get paid. There'll be money. It will break her soul, and she will die early.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's this fallback, and the people who end up there, you know, there's victims of circumstance, of life, it's sad.
It is, you know, our friends, because I have friends, part of the reason we were able to do this trip is because I have a friend that I used to work with a long time ago at the probation office, and she's now a teacher, and she teaches in Taiwan. And her and her husband, they travel all through the Asian countries every time she gets a break at Christmas time. So we all went to Thailand, met up together, and they've been to Thailand, I think 6 or 7 times before. This was not new for them. So they were a great guide for us. They've been to all the places that we went already. And that was cool. But so they know more, they've experienced more living. It's been a decade that they've lived, and they first were in China for years, and then they've been in Taiwan for years. But picking up and learning all that, they were explaining, I felt a sadness when I saw these girls, and they were just like, oh, like, no, like they see no shame in it. Like the Thai people, they see no shame. Like it's, a girl reaches of age, then the father or the mother, they push her out of the house. Like, hey, if you go do this, you make enough money, we can buy a cow, or, we can live in a better place. We can eat for next month, like, and so I get what they're saying. Not hold shame, try to respect it, because it's what they have. It's the cards they're dealt and they're playing it.
Yeah.
But that's not what I feel. I can respect it in a sense that I'll keep my mouth shut and I'll be quiet, and I'm not going to make a scene, and I'm not going to go to another country and act like I know shit. I'm not going to do that. But if I'm being very honest, there's something inside that breaks, especially as a mom, when you're seeing these little girls, because they don't all want to be there. I don't fucking care what anybody says. I'm looking at some of those girls and their eyes are dead or they're terrified. And I just want to take them home. I just want to put them in my bag and take them home and give them a chance here. And it's sorry.
No,
it really is not I don't like it.
And it's everywhere in the world. It's on the streets in Nashville. It's
not the same, though.
It's
not the same here, there, and that's what I mean. Like, strip clubs here in America, it's not the same. Is it still bad? Is it still sad? Yes, but every one of those bitches has a choice. Everyone, even if they came from a broken home, even if they are broken themselves, even if they've been abused, we as American citizens have other options, other choices.
Yeah, there's things set in place for them, even prostitutes on the street. There's someone who will help you get out of that.
Yes, but there's
no one to help them.
There's nothing there, and I get that, and it doesn't make it okay. It doesn't. It's not, that everybody's saying there's no shame. I don't want them to carry shame. It just doesn't make it okay. I don't want to excuse it. I don't want to turn a blind eye and just be like, oh, well, if they're okay, I'm okay. I'm not okay. I'm not okay with it. If we ever go back to Thailand, I have no desire. Do I want to go to the markets and shop? Yes. That was fun.
The night markets?
Yes. And all the markets are at night because as soon as the sun goes down, that's when everybody comes out of, I don't know where, the woodwork. But and the night markets go all through the night. They go till 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. Mm-hmm. But we didn't do that. I just know because we get up early in the morning and they're still breaking down and stuff from the night before.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was hard for me. So I want to tell people, oh, Thailand is amazing and it's wonderful, but just depends on what you're doing and where you're going.
It's weird that the Kingdom of Thailand is famous in part for prostituting its daughters.
Yeah.
It's a huge chunk. It's a huge chunk of it.
And I didn't realize. I've always heard Bangkok was crazy, and I assumed that it had a lot of prostitution. But I'm telling you, we were in Phuket, and Phuket, which is a beach town, made Vegas look like a daycare. I thought Vegas was wild. Vegas is nothing. Vegas is absolutely nothing compared to a beach town in Thailand. What?
See, I want to go to the fights in Phuket.
I know you do. That's why I recorded some of the stuff for you. But
I saw you sent me that message. I was like, that's awesome. Because I told you, I was like, go see a fight while you're there. There's fight camps everywhere. It's a big deal.
Yeah. My group had no desire to go see a fight. But I did see what you were talking about. And it is a big thing there. Everywhere you go, they have big, huge billboards, getting ready for the fight. The next one, advertising.
Yeah. I'd go specifically to the Full Metal Dojo and watch their fights.
And they're all all the boxers that we saw, because what they do is they have these little trucks and they put a boxing ring on top of the box truck and they drive up and down the strip and stuff around these major cities, and boxers are boxing on top of it, and they have the music, or they have somebody's what do you call it? Announcing the whole thing,
Yeah.
It's just funny, but we didn't go see it.
Yeah, that I would it's something I've wanted to do for a while. Yeah, man, it's wild when you get out of the rest of the world and see how it is. It's weird how much hate they'll give Americans, and at the same time they'll put their daughters on the road in the Czech Republic and be cool with it.
And and I don't know the difference of laws and everywhere, but when we were down in Honduras, Belize, that's very poor. When you get off the main tourist where the ships get off, if you get inland a good 30, 45 minutes, wow.
Yeah.
But I didn't see, prostitution wasn't lined up and down the streets like Like it
So
was
that's
kind of.
different though, because it's definitely there. There's a lot of child trafficking goes through there. That's where a lot of the rescues go down to buy children.
Oh, speaking of, and one of the big, we saw two big malls. One of them is like Terminal 21 or something in Bangkok.
Mm-hmm.
And my friend points out to me as we're going up the escalator. So I only had like a 30-second visual of the store before it cut off, but it was called Daddy something. And it looked like a little girl kid store. And she was like, Amy, look, that's a pedo store. And I was like, what? And so as I'm looking and you start to see what the neon signs say, what the words are, holy shit. It wasn't for little kids.
Yeah. I don't know. It's no easy answers. You're muted. You muted yourself. You're still muted. There you go.
Okay, sorry. My phone started ringing. My husband's trying to call me. I just sent him to voicemail and somehow I muted this. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I can't get around that stuff either in my head, man. I can't. Like it's there was a documentary I watched. And I love to recommend, I love to recommend documentaries to people. I'm about it. This is not one I would recommend to fucking anybody. I wish I hadn't watched it. It's haunted my dreams. I told a couple of my buddies about it, and they're like, well, I want to see that. And I was like, you don't want to see that. And then they watched it, and they were like, oh my God, I shouldn't have watched that. It's a woman, she's doing a beauty pageant, right? She's recruiting for a beauty pageant. And she's in Russia, and they hold these little beauty pageants, and they're giving out quote unquote modeling contracts. She was a model herself, Ford's model. She was a real model. And she's like, modeling window is short. For most girls, it's very short.
Yeah.
And she's like, so then I got into this, and I started my own agency, and I got in with this agency, and we go around all these small rural Russian towns, and we have different clients. It's like, obviously, every girl wants to be a European model. She's like, that's where the money's at. It's like, but that is such a fractional of what they're looking for. It's very rare to find. And even when we think we found it and we send it to them, they don't want it. So it is what it is, which is weird because the whole time she's just talking about people like they're meat, right? Like this is just some product. And they're like, awesome. Well, what are your other ones? She's Asian market. The Asian market is very keen on Russian girls. So that's very profitable for us. It's very profitable for them. It's very profitable for the families. And she's building that whole thing. And then they, pick a couple girls and they follow them. So they followed a couple of the girls to Europe. They got a couple photos, but it didn't really go anywhere. And they ended up going home. The ones who went to Asia, a couple of them that went to Japan were getting lots of photo shoots going, but they weren't getting paid. And they're like, where's the money? Where's the representation? We don't speak the language. And the Asians are just shitting all over them. And they end up going home, and some of them got paid. Some of them didn't get paid. It's pretty sketchy all the way around. You know what I mean? And then there's the third client, which they never really talk about till the end. Middle Eastern countries and other individual clients who put in orders for very specific things. And when they find someone who has that, and she found one of the girls, she's like, oh, that girl would be perfect for a client that I have in UAE or whatever. I'm just saying that. I don't think it was the UAE. It could have been Kuwait. I don't know. It was a particular buyer. And she's like, how can you tell us like how she stands? She's got a little sultry to her. She's like, that's what we're looking for. And so they hooked that girl up. That girl's family got a signing bonus of like $25,000 US. And Russia's fucking huge. You know what I mean? And she's like, this is her first down payment on that. They helped get her all her paperwork together, sent her off. And then the documentary continues on talking about all the girls, and they never really reference that one again. And they follow the modeling lady as she gets back to the U.S. She lives in Connecticut in this huge mansion. And she's like, this whole house was bought from one European model that we sent off. Like the contract paid for this house. It's like a $12 million on stilts. Yeah. It's like, that's what I get. And she's like, they're like, wow, that must be amazing. She's like, yeah, it's the only one I've ever had like that. And she's like, but I bought the house, so that's cool. And she has lots of fancy shit. Like it's she's doing well. And they're like, so what do you get paid for an Asian model? She's like, well, it depends. We might get $50,000, $100,000 a girl if they get lots of photo shoots. And like, some of those girls didn't get paid. She's like, well, that's on them and their contracts, and they have to work that out. We can't hold their hands forever, like that kind of stuff. And I'm like, Okay. And they're like, so the girls you sent off to the individual buyers, whatever. And she's like, oh yeah, well that's a different company. We sub out for a different company who handles that. And then we're really just middlemen. And they're like, well, how much do you make for that? And she's like, well, it's a pretty big part of our byline. It's how we keep, going, and it's how we keep the company running. It's like, yeah, but how much? Like for the one girl, they give her name, and you can see the woman kind of turn away when she said her name. She's like, well, how much did you get for her? She's like, $250,000. Like, you got $250,000 to send this girl on a modeling contract, and you gave her family 25, and they're like, yeah, 25 is the standard payout. And then once the girl's on delivery, we're wired the rest of the money. So the 25 didn't even come out of their end. And they're just like, so what happens in there? It's like, oh, well, she models. She's probably a product model down there. Like, what do you mean probably? And like, they're obviously at the end of the thing, they're hammering, like, what happened to this girl? And she's like, I don't know. It's not my job. And like, well, her parents, and they clip to like her parents, like they haven't heard from her in a year. Like, their people were showing up protesting these things, saying, you're stealing our daughters. What's happening to our kids? And they're just like coming at this lady. That was all the stuff they weren't showing. It was all the hostility like her company was getting, her company, quote unquote. And yeah, and so they don't know what happened to this girl, and they clip back to her, and this woman's in the hospital now, and she can't have kids, and she had some kind of tumory cyst on side that grew like teeth and hair, and you can see her like reminiscing, like, what if this would have been my daughter? What if I would have? And she just kind of stops talking and zones out. And they ask her, like, so are you going back to Russia for the next pageantry season? And she just starts crying, and she's like, yeah, probably. You never found out what happened to the girl. No, and the documentary says we tried to find her. It's like as soon as she went there, her passport was taken up to the modeling agency, and they said that she went back home. But Russia has no passport stamp of her coming back in. The Middle Eastern country, I think it was UAE that she went to, has no stamp of her coming into the country. Where did the girl go?
It reminds me of remember the movie Taken with Liam Neeson, the original one, and they took that girl, and then when he winds up catching up, it's like this whole show of different ones that you could choose from. What? An auction.
So, did you see the latest thing uncovered about Erica Kirk and her mom? When Erica Kirk was like 17, 18, her and her mom had a company, like Romanian Angels in Romania, picking up girls from beauty pageants, and it turned out it was a child prostitution network that was funneling to different military bases and U.S. military bases in Romania, as well as other European countries. They'd bring in these children to be sex trafficked for money.
Idea.
Yeah, it all just came out.
I've been in Thailand for 2 weeks. I haven't been paying attention to shit.
Good for you.
It's been nice. It's been really nice.
Good for you. I've started to, like, everything is so wrong. There's nothing I can do about it. So I just have to zone out and focus on what I can do something about.
Yeah.
Let's
start small. Aim small, miss small. Remember?
That's what I'm trying. But I'm glad you're back. I missed you while you were gone. I know you were having fun.
Yeah, it's fun. It's hard to travel for 2 weeks with another couple too, Like, we've been friends for a really long time. I've known them for like 20 years now, but we've known them. We don't live with them, So everywhere we stayed, we had like a 2-bedroom or a 3-bedroom place. So we were like in the same had the same common areas, and yeah.
You're in the same
and
space.
It's good. Honestly, it went really well. Like,
yeah.
They had one time when they were fussing. It was when we were traveling from one place to another. Mm-hmm. It was the last place we were going to, and it was kind of like made it a little uncomfortable, but it was them, not us, so it was all right.
It was them. Yeah. No, I mean, it's always weird when you do something like that. Like, it doesn't matter how close you are to someone, family or not. Like, when I did my little European 2-week road trip with my buddy, like, we were pals in the car together. It's just us. But even then, towards the end, it's like, oh, I mean? Like, I need a little space.
It's gonna have a good remind you of, I don't know, not that I ever need to be reminded of like loving my husband and how comfortable I am with him, but he does feel like home to me.
Yeah.
We don't have to be speaking. We've just so comfortable with each other. And it's not like that with other people. After a while, you're like, oh, this is like, I don't know. I want my space. Yeah.
You should definitely not have gone out in Korea. My buddy tells me hilarious stories that Koreans have no sense of personal space.
Oh.
So, like, when you're walking down the street, they'll just run into you. Even if it's just you and one other person in a hallway, it's like gravity. They just like right into you. He's like, it's everywhere. They're just on each other.
At least they're small. What if it was you? What if it was like you and me just freaking running into everybody?
So
Like
that's
plowing people down.
I think that's funny. So like the Northern European peoples, like if you were to go to like Denmark or something, right? You see people standing in line, they're all 6 feet apart, not talking to each other. You don't put too many people my size together in a small space. Like the heat is, we're just radiating. We're gonna melt them. You know, we gotta be apart. Yeah.
Gosh.
But,
oh, I got sick on a plane.
yeah, you told me about that. You want to relive that? That's an amazing story.
Is it okay to tell that story on here?
I mean, technically, what you did in another country is legal in another country.
That's true. I didn't break any laws.
You didn't break any U.S. laws.
Well, I was over air though. It was international.
So no laws in international waters.
So in Thailand, they have cannabis stores everywhere, and I thought it would be fun to purchase some edibles.
Try it for the first time. I got you.
And yeah, for the very first time. And I'm a newbie. And then
this story will explain that.
And then we are flying home. And out of the 3 flights, the middle one is a doozy. It's like a 10 to 12 hour flight. And I need to sleep. And I know I didn't sleep the first time. So this time I'm like, I got edibles. I'm going to take some and I'm going to sleep on this flight. Because that's what I've heard that's what they do to you. They make you sleepy.
Yeah. You went to college once years ago. Whatever.
Yeah. They didn't have edibles when I was in college. That was a long fucking time ago.
Yeah, but you're aware.
I'm aware. I hear stuff.
You're aware. Yeah.
I have TikTok.
You've seen TV. We know what they're doing out in California.
So I took a couple and then, I don't know, maybe didn't wait long enough. Then I took a couple more. And then I forgot that I had taken a couple more. And then I took a couple more. Then we got a meal served. And I was like, you know what? I bet a drink would really be good with this because that will really help. So I got a vodka and it's just like it's not very good. It was vodka and orange juice. I had 2 of those because I was on a mission to sleep. And I think I did. I think I passed out for maybe 5 to 10 minutes. And all I know is I was completely awake and everything was spinning and there were waves going through my body. I was sweating through every pore, head to toe. Like literally my whole ass was wet when I finally got up out of that seat. I was so sweaty. My husband looks at me. He's like, are you okay? And I just shook my head. No. I let him know I was going to puke. He went and got me a bag. And while everybody was trying to sleep around me, I was hurling into this black bag. And it was one of those where every single thing that I had consumed in the past 12 hours that was still in my belly came out. And it did it in about 3 or 4 good waves. Just the bag was full. I handed it to my husband because what the fuck else am I going to do with it? And, cleaned up a little bit.
Clean up on aisle 35A.
I feel so bad. I wasn't even thinking, but I'm like, here, But he ran and gave it to, I think, the flight attendant. I feel so bad. Went to the bathroom, cleaned up, brushed my teeth. And then they just called me a lightweight, and I couldn't tell them it was edibles because I was embarrassed, but that's what it was. And then I told my husband, he's like, what is happening? Are you okay? And I'm like, I think it's the edibles. He's like, how many did you take? And honestly, I told him the wrong number because it was more than that. And then, and then he's just like, please, can you just be a responsible adult? I'm like, too late.
Yeah. And for all the children listening, don't do drugs in foreign countries, kids. Don't do drugs.
Yeah.
Don't
Nugs, not drugs.
Yeah. When I was coming back flying out of Amsterdam to the US, there were 2 dudes like right next to me and they were trashed out of their mind. I'm sure that was their idea. It was like, we're gonna, sleep on the flight because it is like 14 hours.
Yeah.
And they were bombed.
Like on edibles or alcohol?
Alcohol.
Oh, that's worse.
Or maybe
I think that's
maybe
worse.
other stuff because again, we're flying out of the Netherlands. So I mean, Amsterdam's right there.
Could have been more. Yeah.
Who knows? Like they barely got in their seats, and I'm just like looking across the aisle watching them, and the guys like their heads were rolling, just like, I mean, it was crazy.
That was a hell of a demonstration there, Bub.
My headphones, I shouldn't have reenacted. My headphones came off.
That was a great demonstration.
Yeah, I mean, but they were. I'm just like, this is going to be an interesting flight. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just kind of sitting there watching them. And one of the guys like rolls out of his seat into the thing and goes into the lavatory because we're like, it's one of those huge Airbus type things. So the lavatories are kind of in the middle, the front, back, and the middle. And I'm right next to the middle and the back, which sucked because it doesn't smell great. Like that. But whatever. And I'm just watching these guys. And the one dude in the seat's like, he passes out, like leaning on the other person next to him. And the one guy's like, fuck off me. And the guy finally falls out. We haven't taken off yet, Amy. They're still seating people.
God.
Still seating people. People can't get to the bathroom because
what were the flight attendants doing? Because they have to notice because they pay attention to everybody.
They did, and once everyone was seated, they came and checked on the guy, and like they're knocking on the thing, and like one of the co-pilots comes. We're taxiing out. You know what I mean? They're trying to get this guy, and they finally get it, and he's like just soaked. Like I don't know if he'd vomited and tried to clean himself up or whatever. Or just sweating. He was just out of it. And they're like, "Are you okay?" And they're like trying to keep it calm and keep him in there. Like, "You okay?" He's like, "Okay, I just need to lay down. I just need to lay down." And they're like, "Well, you're on a plane. There's nowhere to lay down. Can you sit?" And he's like, "Yeah, we can sit. Yeah, I can sit." And they're like, "You know, what?" At this one, I can't hear what they're talking about because I know they're asking him like, "What are you on?" You know what I mean? And he just sits on the toilet and starts telling them. And they're like, "Okay, all right, we'll sit back in the seat." And they get him back in the seat, buckled in, and we take off. And one of the stewardesses comes, and the guy like unbuckles and goes back to the bathroom. And they, occupado, and they would come every now and then and check, and he would just give a couple knocks on the door saying that he's okay. He spent the rest of the flight in that bathroom.
Oh my God.
And the other guy was passed out cold, half in his seat, just like drooling. And like, I think it was alcohol because, when you've really messed up on a bender, everything just leaks out of your head.
Yeah,
that was this guy. Like, it was like whoever sat in that seat next is sitting in a puddle of, I don't know. And anyway, the other guy for 14 hours or whatever, he just stayed in that bathroom. He never came out. And they left him alone. They just, every now and then they'd come by and knock on the door, and dude would knock back.
See, I'm surprised they let him because I haven't been on a flight where I could imagine they would leave somebody in a bathroom. They're so anal about getting in your seat, buckling, and
yeah, I mean, they did on takeoff, and he got on it in landing. But of the 14-hour flight, 13 and a half hours.
They just let him be.
They just let him be. Yeah, I mean, those international flights, they don't like to stop them. You know what I mean? You stop them, you're screwing. Like the one time they tried to pull me off that flight out of Detroit, going international. I told you about that, right?
Mm-mm.
So whenever I go to airports, like I get like the extra thumb up the butthole. Like it is.
Yeah, it is. You like it. That's why you fly so often.
I've gotten used to it. I've gotten used to it. Listen, you can fight it and clinch, or you can just relax and go with it and see what happens.
He's like, you know what I need? I need to fly somewhere.
Yeah, I need a quick.
I need to go through TSA.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Canada and back same day. I'm not even getting off the plane.
That's
turn and burn. But yeah, like I don't know why. I don't know why, but my wife used to find it amusing when I would fly, like the intense. It's no longer amusing, and I think it's a big chunk of the reason we don't really fly anymore is because they have delayed planes because of me. They've threatened to leave without me. They've pulled my luggage back off of planes multiple times.
You have to take a shower before you travel.
Rules are for suckers.
You're a big guy. That's a lot of stank.
Yeah. So I was going to Detroit, and they like my little card or whatever's flagged, I guess. And they're like, and they call my number out for my seat. And I'm like, yeah. And they pull me over to the side, and they're like, did you pack can we see your carry-on and whatever? And I was like, here's my carry-on. And they go through everything. And they ask you all the questions. Did you pack your stuff? Are you giving anyone else? Are you traveling? Have you ever disavowed the United States government? Have you? And I'm like, no. Like, what the fuck? Who do you think I am? My name's pretty unique. I'm not somebody you're going to mix up with anyone else. Anyway, so I get on the flight, and I'm just like, whatever. At least it wasn't that bad. And fucking cops come on and come over to my seat. And they're like, and they say my last name. I was like, yeah. And like, we need you to step off the plane with us. We need questions we have to ask you. And I'm like, if I get off this flight, I will miss this flight. That means I will miss my next connecting flight. That means the person who is waiting for me in Austria will not be there when I arrive. That means I'm having eye surgery. That means everything is off. It's like, I cannot get off. I was like, just ask me now. And the stewardess lady's like, looking back, like she doesn't know what to do, right? Like she's freaked out.
Yeah.
She's obviously freaked out. And the security guy's like, sir, I need you. I was like, and I asked him, I said, am I under arrest? And the guy's like, no. I was like, are you detaining me? He's like, no, we would just like to talk to you. I was like, not him. I was like, and I did say that. It's like, you just talk to me out there. And of course, he went like, well, that wasn't me. I was like, I understand that, but I was already questioned. I was already talked to. We've been through this. It's like, if you're going to arrest me or detain me, that is fine. I will absolutely comply. I'll go with you. But if you're not going to do that, and I looked at the stewardess, will you hold the plane? And she's like, absolutely not. We're already running behind. We need to catch up time. I was like, then I can't go. And the guy just fucking went over and like radioed back, and walked off the plane. And I was like, what the fuck was that about? I soon found out. But anyway, I got treated very oddly by the flight crew and the four fuckers sitting next to me.
Oh, I bet.
You know what I mean?
I bet. Yeah.
What the fuck
And
is going on?
right there is not real.
That's right.
That was you.
That was me. No, it was. I do not know why, but I was flagged, and I am flagged hard. I always get an intense security check. Always, 100% of the time. It never fails.
Yeah, that's not fun.
It is not fun. It is not fun. I'm always taken behind the curtain. They always want it. Like, it's just.
I mean, that could be fun.
Yeah, well, they get chicken. They're not willing to.
You're bigger than they think when you get up close.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. They're like, listen, this sounded like fun, but now that we've seen it, we can't do this. It's going to end poorly.
That's what all the girls say to you, Bubba.
That's what all the girls say. But yeah, it always has gone that way. Anyway, they kept my fucking luggage there. They pulled my luggage back off the plane, and I got it a couple days later.
That's
like it was an amazing amount. And when I ended up calling the airline transferred me to airport security. Airport security transferred me to Homeland Security. Homeland Security is the one that had my luggage. And they're like, "Oh, we'll fly it out." I was like, "Well, we wanted to talk to you about your luggage." And I was like, "Can you tell me?" And I was like, "No, we'll have to talk to you in person." And I was like, "And yet you're going to ship it to me? Overnight it? Like, how much did that cost?"
Yeah.
Can't
have a conversation over the phone, but yeah.
No, and so like the weirdest thing is like going into Europe, like when my passport gets flagged, like because we were running, like, and they're just kind of scanning the passports, and mine goes, and I hear beep 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 beep, and the guy's like, like looking behind me, he's like, just go on ahead. But I'll get scanned into another country, and then it's like we're playing 50 fucking questions. It's not like, oh, you're on business, you're on travel. They're like looking at me, okay. They'll scan my thing, and they're like, oh. So do you have any terrorist connections? Or I'm like, what what do you mean?
You've just put yourself out there too much over the years. You've just been a part of too many things.
I think for myself. I think that's about it. I've never done anything that anyone can prove.
You think for yourself, but you're just vocal about your thoughts. So that scares the government.
Scares the man.
Oh, I didn't tell you. I actually have a really funny story. When we flew back home from my first flight was from Thailand to Korea. Mm-hmm. It's a 6-hour flight. Mm-hmm. There were two people. It was not a completely full flight. Sorry. I'm kind of fucked up for this, but I also think it's just hilarious. You know, when you travel, do you like download shows or movies or something? Because, you know, you can't watch anything. You can't get on the internet. So
not anymore. I did it once, and I watched Contagion on the plane, and I was like,
"Oh, that was
stupid."
That was stupid. Yeah, that was not a smart move.
No, now I read a book or just, you know, whatever.
I always download stuff, and this time, right before we started this whole excursion, I was like, "I'm going to rewatch The Walking Dead." Mm-hmm. It's one of the best series I've ever watched, and I was like, "I'm going to rewatch it." It's been freaking over a decade, so. I'm on season 3 by the time our trip is going home. Okay. Because I watched almost like a season and a half on the way to Thailand. Anyway, I'm watching the episode and it's The Walking Dead, but Lori dies they cut the baby out of her. Like her son has to kill her, like it was sort of dramatic in what I was watching it because I am who I am. I was bawling my eyes out. Okay. I have my headphones on and I've got snot coming out and I've got tears coming out. I can't see. I have this whole box of tissue. So I'm like blowing my nose and I'm just watching The Walking Dead. The two people in the chairs in front of us at some point had left. And I'm realizing as the episode is over and I'm blowing my nose that they're not there anymore. And I thought, oh, okay, whatever. I'm blowing my nose still. I'm trying to get my shit together. I'm embarrassed because my husband's laughing at me for crying at The Walking Dead. And all of a sudden the flight attendant says over the speaker, and we're like 4/5 of the way home or to Korea. We're almost there. And they say that they would just like to remind everybody that on the plane that if they have any symptoms or they're not feeling well, to please put on a mask. And if they need a mask will be provided. And I was like, oh shit. I think that's about me. I think they got up and went and complained about me snotting, and it was just because I was crying. But anyway, I thought that was funny.
Asian countries are very much about that, right? They're very much about the mask. They're very scared of diseases. And I mean, they should be, because last time a building in China got COVID, they welded shut everyone in the building. And you know what? We never heard about that building again.
That's China.
Like my sister scared the hell out of everyone in Asian countries.
I didn't mean to. I mean, I couldn't even. Honestly, the thing is, I think because I was listening as I was crying, I had the headphones on. I probably couldn't even hear how loud and dramatic blowing my nose and all the, because I was really crying. It got me. It got me good. So stupid. Sorry, people.
Sorry, not sorry.
I didn't do it on purpose, but I did stop watching. I was like, okay, I need to put this away for a while. I'm too emotional for this show.
Too dialed in.
Like, isn't that about zombies and they all kill each other? I'm like, yes. Sad.
That's funny. Now panicking everyone. I mean, listen, I sat on that rush of that flight with the guy next to me, thinking, oh my God, who's this guy next to me? You know what I mean? So it's not that bad.
Yeah. I'd probably rather be next to somebody I thought was sick than a terrorist.
Yeah. Like, is this? And not only that, like, I'm a big dude.
Yeah, you know, a big terrorist.
Like, yeah, like, oh well, if this guy's got you, holy shit. Like, maybe if we work together, I'll go low, you guys go high. And that has to be it too, because when I'm on those things and I'm ducking my head and I'm rolling my shoulders to get past the things, and I'm sitting in those little seats.
I was about to say, don't you hate those? You must hate those seats.
I do hate those seats. So here's a funny one. Candace and I, we were going to Dallas, and we're flying into Dallas, and they sit me on, and it's one of those like 3 rows. There's like this one symbol and then 2 doubles, packed, and they sit me next to this black guy who is every bit my size. He used to play for the Cowboys. Like, we got to talking because I sat down next to him and he looked at me and laughed, and I was like, brother, we're gonna get to know each other.
Yeah.
Like, I know, I hate these planes. We're just like, oh. I'm trying to lean in the alley, but it's not doing anything. And when I do, that means nobody can walk past.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we're just like laughing. Anyway, he used to play for the Cowboys and then ended up getting hurt, which is very, very common. Like you said, most guys don't make it past 5 years. And he's like, I had a degree in finance. He had a degree in finance and helped players with financial planning. At least tried
that's
to.
Cool. Yeah.
And the Cowboys employed him to do this because he's like one of the few that didn't go broke. You know what I mean?
So he knew something. Like,
yeah. He's like, listen, you're going to make $7 million. Cool. But odds are you're probably not going to play more than 5 years. You've already spent $2 million of it and you hadn't even got a check yet. Stop.
Yeah.
Like, this can take care of you the rest of your life if you do right now. And he's like, a lot of it. And I was like, did any of the guys listen to you? He's like, no. He's like, very few listen to me. Interestingly enough, he's like, most of the white guys will listen to me. He's like, none of the black guys listen to me.
That's funny.
Yeah. He's like, it just is what it is. Not all, but it was a crazy thing. Like he was cool. He was cool. I wish I could remember his name. Well, and it was only a couple hours, so it wasn't that bad.
Mhm.
But yeah, like they put me right next to him. I was like, this has to be a joke. You know what I mean? Oh, we were just wedged in there.
I feel bad every time
Yeah.
Mike has to freaking get stuck next to somebody big. Like,
Oh yeah.
there's
Dude
no
asked
good
me.
seat. There's no
No,
good seat. Because if
no.
you're at the window, then you're stuck. You can't get out to pee. If you're in the middle, you're in the middle.
It wasn't always like that. They did it to maximize capital, right? Like they want to make more money. They want to be more profitable, so they just pack more and more people in there.
Mhm.
And I get it. Like I said, I'm an odd shape and size. I shop at a different store, for larger human beings,
Mhm.
which is cool because when I walk around there, there's dudes a foot taller than me. You know what I mean? They're a
Yeah.
foot taller. They're broad as a house, and they're just trying to find a damn dinner jacket. You know what I mean? Like, what do you want? I just want a dinner jacket that I don't have to go pay someone to make.
Yeah.
Like I can't find my shoe size anywhere. Luckily, I can, so I'm not in that 14, 15, 16 boat category of good luck.
Now, when we
Yeah.
were in Thailand and we were shopping at the malls, that's one thing because Mike's a shoe guy. Like that's all he cared about was shoes. And so every time we go into a shoe store, I would walk out with shoes, but he didn't because they don't carry. I think 10 and a half is the biggest size they carry.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Yep. It's like,
That's
it's
not
working for
happening.
me.
Yeah, that is what it is. It is what it is. That's the only time I've really been cramped. I mean, I'm sure I'm a bunch of other people's nightmare stories.
Oh yeah, if I'm on a plane and I see you walking in, I'm like, please don't sit down, please don't sit down, please don't sit down.
It's like,
yeah, no, everybody on the plane is looking at you like that. I just want you to know that.
Yeah.
They're like, please don't sit down next to me.
Yeah.
Unless you're single and desperate, maybe.
There's a few of those, even not so single. But they're out there. It was funny. So I was at a ribbon cutting for a new business in town the other day, and this woman who's with like our county's business association, whatever. And I'm like, for the first time, like I'm there holding the scissors, and I'm always at the end. You know what I mean? You can't put me in the center. It's just ridiculous. It's gonna look bizarre.
Yeah.
And the poor woman like looks behind me. I'm like, hey, you need to try and get up here so they can see you. And she's like looking at it. She's so small, smaller than my wife, small little lady. She's like, obviously, I did not eat whatever you ate as a child. She's like, she made another joke. What did you eat? I was like, people like you.
Everything. You ate everything as a child. I was there.
That's my youngest boy. Sam.
Everything.
Oh, he's burning.
I still remember when you were picking up, because in California we had snails everywhere. And I still remember you picking up a snail and putting it in your mouth. And mom didn't want to touch it. So she started yelling at me to go over there and get it out of your mouth. And I started yelling back at her that you're not my kid and I'm not touching it.
I remember. So I don't remember that. But I remember like as a teenager when my hunger finally kicked in, like when I was really growing and I was super active and I was like, man, I'm just so hungry. And like I was talking to my oldest boy about it because he's like, I'm done eating. He's super healthy. Like my oldest boy looks just like our dad. Yeah. He's super lean. He's like he's very conscious of these things. It's great.
He's agile too. Yeah.
Yeah. He's that way. And he's starting to eat more, right? Because he's starting to grow. He's getting taller and it's starting to the furnace. He's like, I'm just hungry. And I was like, brother, I get that. And I was like, listen, I was a little bit older than you, and I would get back when they supersized meals. They don't do that anymore. You know, I could get for lunch, like this is a day of my high school career, right? For lunch, if I went out for lunch, which by going out for lunch means I skipped school because we weren't allowed to leave campus, but we would do it anyway. And I'd get two. Back then, it was number 4 double quarter pounders, supersized with Coke with each, large fry with each, two double quarter pounders. That was lunch. After I got out of high school, so that means I just got done running so many miles in that afternoon. I'd go and get 2 foot-long subs. I'd get a meatball with extra meat, extra cheese, toasted, and I would get a cold cut trio with double meat. And that would be my afternoon snack. And then that evening, maybe we'd go to Pizza Hut or something, in which I would have a large Supreme pizza.
That's a lot of fucking food, dude.
And I would like that's that. They're like, it's a lot. It's like that's Tuesday for breakfast. I had I went to the what was it called back then? The not the cattle stop, but it's where we all used to go. Stockyards, because they had a little restaurant. I think they still do. And they have like the Hungry Man morning breakfast, which was like 6 eggs, bacon, sausage, biscuits. I was like, all of that, yeah. Gosh. Yeah. The thing is, like my oldest boy, that's not a fear I see coming from him. But my youngest son, oh yeah. Like he's even now, it's kind of amazing.
Well, he looks
He's
like
the
he's going to be
garbage
built
disposal.
different. He's
Oh
going to be like you.
no, he's a tank. Yeah, and he's the funny thing is he's so dense. Is his swim teacher? She's like, he's a sinker. He's like, he has to keep kicking, otherwise he goes down.
Yep.
I was like, oh, that's me. Keep kicking. Why? Otherwise you'll drown.
Yeah.
Like dead man float. I'm still going down. Okay, so you're gonna have to do something. Get something that floats. But yeah, no, that's him. He's a.
Speaking of floats, did I tell you about Mike almost going down when we were snorkeling?
No.
When we chartered a boat, they took us to an area where we could snorkel. And as soon as we got there, I freaking grabbed my snorkeling and jumped off the back of the boat and took off.
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably like, I'm not good with measuring, but from the back of the boat was probably 2 house lengths away is where I was, like side, I don't know. And I'm looking back at everybody and I see they're all putting on life jackets and this and that. Okay, fine. Because I really just took off. I didn't care. And then I see Mike's in the water and he doesn't have a life jacket. He set a snorkel and he's making his way towards me. I'm paying attention, but I'm also not because I'm snorkeling. And then he gets close. And then I realize he goes right past me to where it's even more shallow. And because I'm snorkeling, I look under and he's got his foot and he's like resting it on a rock, which it should have been the coral. And he's lucky it just happened to be a rock and not the coral wasn't on it. And so then I come up and I take my stuff off. I'm like, are you okay? Like, what are you doing? And he said he was fine, but then he's got his hand and he's touching the coral. And I'm like, dude, you're going to get fucked up,
Yeah, don't touch that.
And it already was. And I'm like, what do you need? Like, are you okay? And he's like, I should have got a life jacket. And I was like, do you need a life jacket? And he kind of just shrugged. And I was like, I got it. So I swam back to the boat. And I was like, I need a life jacket for my husband. They threw it to me. I swam all the way back to him, give him the life jacket. And in that time I was gone, he was rotating his hands on the coral to balance. And then his foot was underneath. His foot was fine, but he had probably 20 like paper type cuts on each hand from the coral, just slicing him. And I didn't like it. It scared me. I found myself worried for him, irritated that he didn't put on a life jacket in the first place. You know what I mean? Like, I know I can swim. I know my abilities. But he's not the same person. I could snorkel and keep my head underwater for 30 minutes straight. I'm good. He does the 10 seconds down and then back up. You know what I mean? He can't.
He's not a strong swimmer.
He can't get it. And it's just, and then I was wore out. So then I couldn't snorkel for a good 5 minutes because I had to get my breathing back down and get my heart rate back down while I'm still waiting in the ocean. Because the water, we're in the ocean and the water is slapping up against because these are the little islands. And we went to Krabi. And so the water is smacking against these little avatar looking islands. And I mean, I was spent. I was spent, but
how was he? Was he okay after?
Yeah, he's okay in complete denial of any of it.
Yeah.
He didn't need it. He was fine.
Did I tell you the time I saved my father-in-law from the ocean?
No.
Yeah. We went down to Savannah, and then we went to Tybee Island, and my wife's parents were with us, and we're out in the ocean. Her mom doesn't get in the ocean. Her mom doesn't get in water. She doesn't swim. Wants nothing to do with it. She had like a near drowning experience when she was a kid, and since then she didn't even like sitting in a bathtub. Like she's out.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Okay. Yeah. So no problem. My father-in-law's in the water, and they got the red flags out, whatever. It's the currents are for real. And we're goofing around, and her dad's shorter. He's a shorter man.
Yeah.
Not a strong swimmer. And it's one of those things like you need to know who you are when you're playing around in the ocean. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because the water is so strong.
Like you're like, I can do this. Cool. Set that limit a little bit below.
Yeah. Work your way up to that. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's be even less. Well, I can definitely do that. Cool. Let's go ahead and throttle it back anyway because it will kill you.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're out and he gets caught. And not a riptide, but when that water really flows out hard. Not a riptide. It's not dragging him under the current out to a mile in a second or whatever. Yeah. But he's on the outflow of water and he can't get away. And my wife's out there too. And I swim over there and I grab him, right? And I start paddling and he doesn't know what to do. So I'm just thinking, am I just going to hit him in the mouth real hard so he'll stop biting me? Or what am I? Anyway, he stops, and I'm able to get to somewhere where I can touch the ground, which is easy. And I just plant my foot and wait for the water to stop because it's pulling hard, but I'm able to hold him up, and I have my wife. And then as soon as I can feel the suction stop where it's sucking your feet in the thing, I start moving.
Go.
Oh yeah. Start moving. I got them both like, let's go, and I'm not moving towards the shore. I'm moving at an angle away from the shore because wherever we are right here, this is where the channel is. I have to get out of this. And once I was able to, we were able to get on the beach. And he was like, I don't know, I had that. And I was like, yeah, okay. And then later at like late lunch later in the day, he's like, I almost died out there. It's like, if you hadn't been there, I would have died. And I was like, yeah, but you didn't. So
yeah.
And then he got real moody about it. Like, he's like, oh, but I almost died. And it's like, but you didn't. He's like, you saved my life. I was like, you think you'd be thankful about it?
It's a weird way to respond. Yeah.
Maybe throw out a thank you.
Yeah.
And roll on.
Yeah. Mike was initially like, thank you. But then he was like, denial. I was fine. I was good. And then after we came home, I don't know, I did something else silly and I was like, oh, saved your life again. And he was like, oh yeah, thanks. Like,
I think my wife, and she would definitely admit this, she goes through this bubbly life of like, when we're together, like, she's such a serious, detail oriented person all the time, unless we're together. And then it's like any safety switch in her brain is now off.
It's all on you. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's great. Now that you're here, you need to keep us all alive. I'm just going to run around like I'm on crack.
Good for her. Good for her that she has that. And good for you for allowing her to be that way.
Like, what do we do? Stay back. Like, what are you
doing? That's great.
Yeah. Oh, it's for her. Not for me. Yeah. But whatever.
Well, I got carpet people coming, so I'm going to have to hop off.
Nice. Well, that is good. I don't have anything else anyway. Any last words? Anything of wisdom from your travels?